Russia is continuing to escalate their aggression, really ramping up that rhetoric by amassing now more than 135,000 troops along that border with Ukraine, as well as fresh deliveries of tanks, artillery and other weapons to an area called Kursk and Voronezh, which is about 100 miles from the border with Ukraine. Russia is also now sending out naval reinforcement in the Black Sea, which is another sign of aggression coming from the south. Now, I've actually spoken with people this morning who came from these border regions, and the military who are standing by along these borders do not believe that they will face an incursion at all, but say that if they do, it will be from Crimea down south or from Belarus in the north. And on a diplomatic front, Rob, French President Emmanuel Macron is really leading the charge when it comes to the Europeans, vowing to give 1.2 billion euros in aid to Ukraine and help restore the east of the country. Now, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz is heavily being criticised for not doing enough to support Ukraine and simply saying that Russia will pay a high price if it invades. Chancellor Scholz is coming to Ukraine to meet with President Volodymyr Zelensky on the 14th. So that will be an interesting meeting, considering the lack of support that Ukraine are receiving from him. And then he will be heading to Moscow to meet with President Putin the next day. So there will be a lot coming out of here in the next coming days. And of course, we will be keeping you updated on that meeting.
Sarah, you were on Wake Up America in studio with us on Monday. I know you just you landed in Ukraine yesterday. What's the feeling there from the people of Kyiv in Ukraine? Are people nervous? Are they anxious? What's the overall feeling like?
To be honest, Rob, not at all. I have had a chance to get out and walk the streets and see the people out here. And I've also had a chance to speak to a lot of Ukrainians myself. I do know a lot of people that do live here in Kyiv as well. And I have spoken to them, and they are just getting on with their everyday lives. And you can really see that as well in the streets. People are out shopping, people are going to work. And the majority of people here, the majority of Ukrainians, do feel like there is going to be no incursion. They have experienced this before, so the Ukrainians are really strong people. They are just going on with their everyday lives, but they do all have, the majority of the people that I have spoken to said that they do have their bags packed at home just in case.
Wow.
But these threats they do feel are nothing more than that. They have all told me, which I have found interesting, is that there is a lot of disappointment in Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in the general public here in Ukraine. And something else that was interesting as well is that a recent survey shows that 72% of surveyed Ukrainians have a lot of faith in the Ukrainian military, but not a lot of faith in the government. So in the next election, it is unlikely that they said that they would be voting for him again.
All right, Sarah Williamson, we'll check back in with you next hour. Thanks so much. Good to see you. We appreciate it.